Good evening, VV Nation. My name is Ryan. Welcome to the channel, especially if you're new. Happy Juneteenth. I know the market was closed today, but we've got a great topic to talk about. I mean, this is a hot space right now. It really goes hand in hand with AI. It's going to piggyback off of some of that momentum. We're seeing a lot of this in the big names of this industry. The space I am talking about right now is cybersecurity. So tonight's video, we're going to talk about the crowd favorites. Ironically, CrowdStrike, Palo Alto, Palantir, the big boys in the space, but we're also going to take a look at the industry as a whole and see if we can find some fish along the way. Now, if this is something that you're interested in, stick around and let's go ahead and get started. In tonight's video, I'm not going to provide you any news articles on, software security or cybersecurity, but we're going to go into the VectorVest 7 software and give you unbiased data to look at. You're going to see mostly charts in tonight's video. The first chart we're starting off with is the industry graph to see if this space is even a good space to get into. We can see over the last 12 months, price action has risen to close today at $45.30. Now, the first thing I will note about this space here, the green line down below, that is what we value these collective stocks. So that being said, you can see investors not afraid to pay a premium for these stocks. Now down below I do have the forecasted data. We got sales growth rate in earnings, and the earnings per share. We can see over the last 12 months, sales growth rate has dropped off to finish at 23%. Now when it comes to growth rate and earnings right now, we're closing at 15%, which is slightly above than where we were a year ago at just 14%. Now earnings per share, EPS, the forecasted EPS was negative actually for the space here at 44 cents. If we look today here, it is still negative, but getting closer to zero here or becoming profitable at negative 0.32. The graph we were just looking at is comprised of these 47 stocks, which make up the software security space. Now I'm going to go through this list and cherry pick these stocks, throw them in a watch list, and then we will actually go through these stocks and see which ones are some of the best candidates out there, depending on what style of investing you have. Now, just taking a look here, we do got Palo Alto at the top of the list with a buy rating here, fundamentally sound. So this looks like a great one here. We have Checkpoint, which is also at the top of the list. Let's take a look at this. This is a stock I haven't heard too much about. We got CrowdStrike. Like I said before, this is a very popular stock. We've got OneSpan or OSPN at the top of the list. One thing I really like about this company here, it's one of the undervalued stocks in this list here. You see most of these stocks are overvalued. CrowdStrike greatly overvalued compared to our metrics at just $72 while it's trading close to $400. As I scroll down, we've got Palantir in the list with buy rating here. The sales growth rate at 21%. We also got Alar here, which is at 47% for the sales growth rate. So I'm going to throw this on the list here. This is a sell recommended stock right now. So there's definitely more aggressive or bottom fishing play. So let's take a look and see if there's any opportunities. Another stock I'm curious about is Clear Secure, with a sales growth rate of 35% right now, and RV at 1.43, so a lot of upside potential there. And you'll notice as I'm getting down this list, there's a lot of hold and sell recommended stocks in the space right now. So you can see, the clear winners at the top of the list here, majority of them being the big names we already know, while a lot of the stocks in the space are struggling at this time. But one that got my attention is this LTCH. It is undervalued right now. It's trading at 41 cents. We value at 57 cents. RV above 1. And look at the sales growth rate coming in at 106%. And a couple more that I'm interested in is AUID along with Cloudflare or NET. So let me go ahead and put these in a watch list. I will say, I think this is a great list just looking at the industry as a whole here. We got the crowd favorites highlighted right now. We got Palo Alto, CrowdStrike, Alarm Tech, Palantir, and Cloudflare in this list. But along this journey, we have came across some other great stocks. I mean, Checkpoint was one of the highest rated stocks by VST, which is overall value, safety, and timing in the industry here, along with OSPN. And look at these. Both of these stocks are undervalued. So can't wait to take a look at their chart and see if there's any potential here. On top of that, we do have Clear Secure, AUID, and LTCH at the bottom of the list here. Now these stocks got hold and sell recommendations, but the things I really liked about them is the sales growth rate here, phenomenal numbers. And if we look at the growth rate and earnings, not too shabby itself. Only one in the list here with negative growth rate and earnings being AUID. First on the list, Palo Alto, you see trading at 317 right now in a pretty tight trading range over the last several weeks here. Now my level of resistance coming in around 323, the zone. Price action can break above above this, we do have a gap to fill here coming in at 362. Down below, we do have the valuation here, so you can see the stock is greatly overvalued at this time. Is on the rise, nice steady stair-step fashion to the upside here. Next on the list is Checkpoint. You see the green line here, greatly undervalued. We value the stock over $222, while right now it comes in at $159. The earnings per share on the rise here. If I take off value and zoom in, we can see all the moving averages in our favor right now, showing bullish momentum. Nice strong candlestick as of yesterday. Buyers in control, with the next level of resistance not coming in until 163. Here we've got CrowdStrike, nice lower left to upper right. Moving averages showing momentum still to the upside. Price action hit a high as of 2 trading sessions ago. So if you're not in the stock, I'd like to take out that high just to get confirmation to the upside at 394.64. Otherwise, if you're in this position, I don't see any rush to sell it right now, as the moving averages are in our favor and the earnings per share continues to climb over the last 30 days. Now, this is a stock not very popular, OneSpan, OSPN. We see price action retracing right now, moving averages not in our favor, at least for the bulls. But I do see a level support coming in around 1238. I do see level support coming in at 1238. So as long as I can get a bottom wick with some buying pressure around this level here, could potentially be a great trade setup with a stop shortly below this level of support. Now, as far as Alar, you see a nice, beautiful chart here. Until yesterday, we see a price action selling off quite a bit. Even got the sell rating as of yesterday. Price action came in at 27.66 for the close, breaking all of the moving averages here. Now, with the stock under a lot of pressure right now and a fresh sell rating given, I'm going to hold off on this stock. Here's one of Glenn's favorites. We've got Palantir here, great stock. And what I'm liking about this position here, we're seeing the level of resistance at 25.45. However, with today's price action here, brought us right into that zone, breaking that level of resistance at 25.82. And EPS, forecasted earnings per share, on the rise over the last several months. Now, here's one of the more speculative plays that we found going through the industry. You can see price action definitely down over the last 6 months here, but look at the turnaround within the last few weeks. We see all the moving averages in our favor, 2 green bullish candlesticks breaking above this consolidation point here, right around 1846, currently trading at 1854. We do have a level of resistance coming in very soon at 1880, so I'd like to see price action break above this level here, giving me a higher high, confirming this upside trend. Now, the forecasted data down below looks phenomenal. The EPS, earnings per share, on a tear since February here, around just below 70 cents to finish today at 89 cents per share. Cloudflare is one of the bigger players in this space, having a hard time over the last 6 months here. You can see it's actually trading lower than it was 6 months ago. However, for a recent momentum change, we can see the stock went from a sell to a hold rating. Along with price action here, I mean, a clear uptrend, all moving averages in our favor here, crossovers occurring pretty recently. So if you're comfortable with bottom fishing on net, this might be a good time to do so. Now, here's another one we found in the industry list, AUID. We can price action slightly above where it was 6 months ago here. But look at yesterday's candlestick. Big selling pressure here, little wick at the top right at this level of support here. We got 2 levels at 986 and 1013. I do like price action, was able to stay above that 8-day moving average. You can see the bottom wick touching it right there. So if you are thinking about getting in this position, as far as a play here, I'd like to see a little bit more optimism around this level of support. But as long as these moving averages stay in our favor and that momentum stays to the upside, this could turn out to be a great momentum play. Along with the EPS or forecasted earnings per share, we see that nice steady stair-step fashion from the lower left to the upper right over the last 6 months. So there are some good things I see about the stock, but it's a little too early, especially with yesterday's sell-off. I'd rather wait for the dust to settle than just to jump in this position. Now, the last stock on the list here is a penny stock, LTCH. You can see price action under a lot of pressure over the last year here. But the reason why this caught my attention, it's at 41 cents right now. We value this position at 57 cents, so you can see it is undervalued. But my concern right now, looking at the chart, that both valuation and price action are on the downtrend right now since April. Now, before getting in this position, I'd like to see these moving averages cross over in a bullish manner. Right now, the bears are in charge. But if you're a more speculative investor, this might be a stock to do some research on and see what kind of potential it may have. All right, VectorVest, I told you we were going to take a hard look at the industry here and find some fish along the way, which I believe we did here. I mean, Checkpoint, that's new on my radar. OneSpan, which is clear, secure, and Cloudflare Net. Well, that's been on my radar, but now it's back on the list here. I'm seeing some potential with that position as well. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to our channel so that way and keep you updated going forward. Good night.